It was 2:03 a.m. when I realized I was no longer waiting for my wife to come home. I was waiting for the truth. The living room clock ticked in steady accusation, each second louder than the last. The TV flickered on mute, showing some late-night rerun I wasn't watching. The half-finished dinner sat cold on the table. I had reheated it twice. She was supposed to be home by 11. "Just dinner with Mia and the girls," she'd said, slipping on a black dress I hadn't seen her wear in years, the one that made her eyes seem sharper, her laugh lighter. I didn't question it at first. I trusted her. Or at least I thought I did. By midnight I had texted her. "Me. Everything okay?" No response. By 1 I had called twice. Straight to voicemail. By 2, something in me had already cracked, that small, quiet voice whispering what I didn't want to hear. "You already know." I picked up my phone again and hit call. It rang this time. She answered on the third ring. "Hey," she said, breathless. "Where are you?" I asked. My voice sounded calm, too calm. There was a pause. The kind that doesn't come from bad reception, but from guilt. "I'm just still out. We went to this lounge after dinner," she said. Her voice trembled slightly. "Didn't want to wake you." It was quiet for a moment. And then a sound. A man's voice in the background, low and close, saying something I couldn't make out. Everything inside me froze. "Who's that?" I asked, even though I already knew. "What?" she said too quickly. That's just the DJ, babe. It's loud here." "No," I said quietly. "That wasn't a DJ." She didn't respond. The silence stretched. "Tell me where you are, Anna." Another pause. I could hear her breathing now. Fast, nervous, uneven. "I'll be home soon," she said finally, her voice barely a whisper. "Please just go to bed." And that's when I heard it. His voice again, closer this time, murmuring something like, "Come on, let's go." The call cut off. I sat there for a long time, staring at my phone, the dial tone humming through the speaker. That was the moment. Not when I saw her later, not when she confessed, but that moment when the marriage ended. Quietly. Invisibly. She didn't come home until nearly 5. The sound of the key turning in the lock jolted me awake on the couch. She stepped inside, her hair messy, makeup smudged, the faint scent of cologne clinging to her. Not mine. "Hey," she said, forcing a smile. "You're up." "Yeah," I said, voice dry. Hard to sleep when your wife disappears for 6 hours. She blinked like she hadn't expected confrontation. "I told you I was out with the girls." "Then why didn't Mia answer when I called her?" Said. "Why did she say she hadn't seen you since 10? Her face drained of color. "Hi," she started, but no words followed. "Don't," I said quietly. "Please. Just don't lie anymore." For a long moment she stood there, the truth visible in the slump of her shoulders, in the way her eyes darted away from mine. Then she sat down across from me, hands trembling. "It wasn't supposed to happen," she whispered. Closed my eyes. My chest felt hollow. "Who is he?" She hesitated. "Just someone from work. Started a few weeks ago. We'd been talking a lot." I didn't mean for it to go this far. Few weeks. Meaning, while I was still planning our anniversary dinner, she was with him. While she told me she was working late, she was in his car or his apartment or God knows where. I didn't yell. I didn't break anything. The rage wasn't loud, it was quiet, sharp, suffocating. "Why?" finally asked. "Why do this?" Her eyes filled with tears. "I don't know. Just felt lonely. We barely talk anymore, and you're always tired, and I missed feeling wanted." "Wanted," I repeated. "You think I didn't want you? Anna, I built my life around you." "I know," she said, crying now. "That's what made it worse. I knew you didn't deserve this." I laughed, not because it was funny but because it was absurd. "Then why do it?" "I don't know," she whispered. "I just needed something. I can't explain it." I stood up. "You don't have to. You already did enough." The days that followed blurred together. Long, silent, aching hours filled with half-remembered arguments and the constant weight of what used to be. She moved out 2 weeks later. Said she needed space to figure herself out. I didn't stop her. At night, I'd find myself replaying everything. The dinners, the kisses, the plans we made. Wondering when it had started to fall apart. When she'd stopped seeing me as the man she loved and started seeing me as the man she left. There's a specific kind of pain in betrayal. It doesn't come all at once. It seeps in slowly, poisoning everything it touches. You start questioning every memory. Every, I love you. Every smile. One night I got a message from her. Anna. I'm sorry, Mark. For everything. I stared at it for a long time before replying. Me. Are you happy? After a while she replied. Anna. I don't know. That was the last message we ever exchanged. Months passed. The seasons changed. I tried dating again once, but every time someone laughed or brushed their hair the way she used to, I'd feel that old ache rise again, like a ghost reminding me I wasn't healed yet. People say time heals. Doesn't. It just dulls the edge until you can hold the blade without bleeding. One afternoon I ran into Mia, her old friend, at a cafe downtown. She looked at me with guilt in her eyes. She never stopped talking about you, Mia said quietly. Even after it all ended. She said she ruined the best thing she ever had. I didn't know what to say. What could I? When I got home that evening, I poured myself a drink and sat by the window. The city lights blurred through the glass, and for the first time, I allowed myself to feel something other than anger, sadness. Deep, aching sadness for what could have been. I remembered the night she told me she loved me for the first time. The night we danced in our kitchen, barefoot, to a song that didn't even have a name. The morning she whispered, "We'll always choose each other." And then the night she didn't come home. That was when everything changed. A year later, I heard through mutual friends that she'd moved to another city. Alone. The man she left me for. He'd ended things after a few months. There was a strange kind of closure in that. Not satisfaction, not revenge, just quiet understanding. She'd made her choice. Or had I? Sometimes I still wake up at 2 a.m. out of habit. The hour everything broke. But now, instead of waiting, I just sit there for a while, listening to the silence. It's peaceful in a way. Painful too. But peaceful. Because now, I know something I didn't that night. That love doesn't always die because it stops being felt. Sometimes it dies because it's no longer safe to feel it. And once that safety is gone, once trust is shattered, no amount of apologies or tears or lonely confessions can rebuild it. The call that ended our marriage didn't just end us. It ended the version of myself that believed love was unbreakable. Now, when people ask what happened, I tell them the truth. She didn't come home by 2 a.m., I say. So I called her. And that call was the last time I ever believed she was mine.